Are we ever going to see these franchises again? Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video game series overdue for a comeback. For this list, we're looking at popular franchises that have been gone for far too long. Here's hoping these games get some remasters or remakes soon. Number 10, Dino Crisis. We don't get a heck of a lot of dinosaur games these days. Well, nothing as memorable as Dino Crisis. However, it's understandable why we stopped seeing this series. The last two games, Dino Stalker and Dino Crisis 3, were critical flops, which would be enough to make a studio freeze an IP. Then again, that was nearly 20 years ago, and times have changed. Now that Resident Evil and Devil May Cry have seen a successful resurgence with the amazing RE engine, maybe it's time Capcom brings back its Dino shooter for a reboot. Now is the time to reintroduce Dino Crisis to the world in all of its Jurassic glory. Number 9, Myth.
Kill him! Kill him!
We know Bungie is the studio behind Halo and Destiny, but it'd be interesting to see the company dig up an IP from its past. While we also considered Marathon to be on this list, we'd much rather see a new installment of Myth, a real-time strategy tactics game that had a steep learning curve, yet was immensely fun once you got the hang of things.
We're on it!
Unfortunately, the franchise was short-lived, lasting 3 games over the course of 4 years. With classic strategy games like Age of Empires and Civilization seeing continued success today, we have a feeling Myth would find a healthy following of its own should it be resurrected. Number 8, Bobble. What is there to not love about Bobble? You get to play as a couple of adorable, bubble-blowing dinosaurs, collecting fruit and gems on decoratively designed levels. It's such a delight to play. Sadly, this is one of many series that have fallen victim to lack of game preservation as developer Taito lost all of the game's original source code. So we won't be seeing any official port or re-release anytime soon. However, Taito or parent company Square Enix could give the franchise the same treatment Namco has given Pac-Man. Put a new spin on the classic formula, maybe a roguelike similar to The Binding of Isaac. Whatever Bobble's future looks like, we hope it isn't spent in the digital void of no return. Number 7, Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Luke, we've already got trouble. Probe droid. Pick your targets and go.
Of all the classic Star Wars games we'd want, Rogue Squadron is at the top of our list. These were the games that made you feel like you were part of the galactic dogfights, giving you the chance to pilot your very own X-Wing. If this franchise were to rise from the dead, we'd be facing a major caveat. EA still owned the Star Wars license, and they rejected a similar-looking Star Wars game concept by Double Damage. Although, at E3 2019, Limited Run Games announced they'd be releasing Collector's Edition of the classic Star Wars games. Unfortunately, Rogue Squadron wasn't on the list, but maybe the success behind this could determine the franchise's future.
Wedge, an Imperial cruiser. It's captured the Razor.
Wedge here.
We can't let that data get away.
Number 6, Jak and Daxter.
You don't know what you're missing.
Jak and Daxter could have easily been overshadowed by Naughty Dog's previous cartoon platformer, Crash Bandicoot, but the franchise has been known as one of the PS2's best. Sadly, we haven't seen much of Jak and Daxter in the past decade, not since The Lost Frontier launched on PSP and PS2.
Why did I go on this crazy quest with you guys? Find Eco, save the world. I wanna go home.
Sure, we can relive the explosive action and vibrant worlds thanks to the PS4 re-releases, but we'd love to see the IP handed to another studio for a sequel or reboot. We long to come back to the action platformer. However, with Naughty Dog moving on to games like Uncharted and The Last of Us, there's no telling when we'll see this dynamic duo again.
What? Let me see.
Number 5, Conquer.
Sorry about that, old chap.
Conquer. where have you gone? The last time we got to spend time with the foul-mouthed alcoholic red squirrel was in Microsoft's Project Spark, when he was the star of the uninspired, kid-friendly expansion, Conker's Big Reunion. There was also the footage for Young Conker tech demo in 2016, but we don't want to talk about that.
So the first time Conker walks across a couch and he starts bouncing. Wait a minute, how do you know that's a couch?
Microsoft just hasn't done anything with our foul-mouthed rodent since remaking the N64 classic as Conker Live and Reloaded. Every attempt to bring him back has been to appeal to kids, but fans know Conker should be anything but family-friendly. Let's just hope Microsoft finally realizes this.
Context sensitive.
Oh, I see. Okay, bye-bye then.
Number 4. Twisted Metal. Throughout the current console generation, we've received a healthy helping of remasters for PS1 franchises. These include Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Wipeout, and Medieval. However, Twisted Metal has had a glaring absence for 7 years, with the last game launching on PS3 in February 2012. Vehicular combat games may not have sold an astronomical number of copies, but Twisted Metal always had something special with its level design and dark humor. Here's hoping the TV series from PlayStation Productions will pull in enough fans to warrant a new game. Number 3. Half-Life.
Hey, Mr. Freeman. I had a bunch of messages for you, but we had a system crash about 20 minutes ago, and I'm still trying to find my files.
To those of you who are sick of hearing people demand Half-Life 3, we're sorry. Sort of. Look, hear us out. There are reasons why we've spent the past 12 years begging Valve to continue the story of Gordon Freeman. Half-Life 2, Episode 2, ended on a major cliffhanger, leaving many questions unanswered.
Never fear, Gordon. She's debeaked and completely harmless.
In recent years, Valve seems to have all but stopped developing games in favor of focusing on Steam, and they've gotten a little too complacent over the years with relying on that service as their main revenue source. But with Epic Games sweeping up PC exclusives left and right, now is the time for Valve to get more competitive, and Half-Life 3 should be their first step.
Oh, and by the way, nice to finally meet you.
Number 2. FZero. FZero has been gone for so long that Captain Falcon has become more of a Smash Bros. Character than an F-Zero character. The last game from the futuristic racing franchise came out in 2004, F-Zero Climax for the Game Boy Advance. Unfortunately, Nintendo doesn't seem too keen on bringing the series back.
3, 2, 1, fire.
Shigeru Miyamoto has admitted that he isn't sure what else Nintendo could do to make F-Zero interesting. The closest we've gotten to a new installment was in 2011, when Nintendo approached Criterion, yes, the same Criterion owned by EA, to build a demo. Here we are 8 years later, and we only have some tracks and a cart in Mario Kart 8, and a whole lot of Falcon punches to dish out.
Hey, where do you think you're taking me? Wait!
Before we call out our most overdue franchise, here are a few honorable mentions.
My eyes are open, Kane. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
Of course I have a reservation.
Then let's see your reservation slip. Very good. You may seat yourself, Mr. Pardon me, Mrs. Bryanstone.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1. Banjo-Kazooie. The Bear and Bird have been gone for far too long. The duo's final game was the polarizing Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which was a good game on its own merits, but was not the game that was teased at E3 2006. Needless to say, fans were not happy, and the series has been dormant ever since. However, with the recent, mind-blowing news of Banjo-Kazooie coming to Smash Bros. Ultimate, the future is looking brighter than ever. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer himself has been clamoring for this opportunity, and even recently had Xbox One exclusives Cuphead and Super Lucky's Tale released on Switch. Does this mean we'll be getting a brand new game? Or a remaster of the original games on Switch? Only time will tell. In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on MojoPlays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.